we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Patrice Smith. I am a co-author of the book that you see in yellow there that says Real Food is Really Good. And I am also a mother, wife, and basically what I like to do is really encourage people in eating healthy. It is not easy. It's not easy to be a mother with kids and encourage them to eat healthy. It can be a struggle. And so that is really what I'm here to do, and that's really what I'm about. Again, I'm a co-author of that first book over there, and I'm also a co-author of the second book that's there that says The Struggle. The second book I co-authored with my 4 daughters. 2 of them are behind me today, and they are my helpers today, as you can see, and they already got started. And just a little bit more about myself. One reason why I'm very passionate about eating healthy, after I had 4 kids, and I kind of had them back to back, they were kind of stair steps, so I can feel you. But after I had them, I gained about 80 pounds. And so, more than that, but I've lost over 80 pounds, and it has been a journey. And it's something that I really, really, really am passionate about, and I'd like to encourage people to let them know that they can do it too. Even with kids, it can happen. And I am going to stop my helpers so that they can introduce themselves. You can go ahead.
Hi, my name is Cherry. I'm 11 years old, and I'm an upcoming 6th grader.
Hi, my name is Faith, and I'm 10 years old, and I'm an upcoming 5th grader. I'm working in health and safety.
Okay, very good. Okay, why are we here? We are here to talk about real food. Okay, sometimes we throw terms around, you know, apple a day keeps the doctor away. We say things, but we really don't know what they mean, or we say it so much we forget the meaning. What is real food? Like, what, when you think of real food, what does that even mean? Anyone?
From the ground.
Fruits, vegetables, you said from the ground. I remember one time, I think someone was asking children, where did food come from? And the response was Walmart. And so sometimes that's what kids think, because if that's where you get your food, if you always go to Walmart and get your food, that's what they're going to think. And so it's important to know what real food is. And on that note, what is processed foods? Have you ever heard of that term, processed? What is that?
That's like foods, like hot dogs, some hot dogs are processed.
Anybody else got any definition or answer or an example of what processed food might be?
Going through a machine.
Going through a machine. What else? Any other ideas? Because we hear these terms, don't we hear, don't you process food? Okay, what do you think processed foods are?
So it's like different mixed together, or like that have artificial flavors,
Artificial flavorings, different things. So I'm hearing a lot of manipulation, maybe some mixtures, things that have been changed around, things like that. Before I keep going, I just want to throw a disclaimer out there. I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. So, you know, again, as I said before, I'm a mother, and I'm someone who experienced weight loss. So this is coming from experience as opposed to school knowledge or what have you. Although I have, during the course of the 80 pounds, I did learn a lot through the journey and had to really teach myself all over again, like what real food was, how to eat properly and all that. So there was education, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew what I was talking about. But anyway, we talked about real food, and we said it's from the ground possibly. We talked about what does processed foods mean. We said manipulation, I kind of heard that. Things mixed together, I kind of heard that. I'm going to throw out a few more things. When I think of processed foods, and I'm not necessarily saying it's right or wrong answer, but when I think of processed foods, I think of foods that have been manipulated in a way to make you want more. Added added flavors, changed from its original form. So again, to make them more desirable. Processed foods, and there's a reason why we have processed foods. Processed foods really came about because, companies want to sell. You see an opportunity to sell something, you do it. For instance, you can only sell apples so many ways. Your fruit stand, you have an apple. How many ways, how much can you charge for this apple? But when you change it, when you make it into apple pie, when you make it into apple turnover, do some different things with it, now you can charge more for it. Now you have a company now because, no one has a patent on apples, but you can have a patent on your apple pie recipe, etc. So a lot of that comes into play when we're talking about processed foods. Processed foods kind of came about during wartime, where we had, people are all fighting. How can we feed them? Okay, we can add this to the food, we can add this to the food, we can package it this way, it will last, it will have a longer shelf life. Oh, war is over, what do? We're not going to stop doing this, we make money. So we continue to do it. So that's kind of where the history of canned foods, processed foods, and all that came about. Because a long time ago, processed foods were, your grandmama cooked it and maybe you stayed on the counter for a day, but that was the extent of it. But nowadays, foods can live for a lifetime. They can stay good for a lifetime. They can outlive us, some things. And so that's what processed foods mean to me. And processed foods really just aren't good for us. Can anybody maybe give me an idea of why maybe processed foods aren't good for us, or why we should even care? Why should we even be concerned? I mean, I am saying food, processed food, so why?
Health factors. Health
Health-wise,
some of it's really bad for you.
it's really bad for you.
Some of the chemicals they use to
Some of
make
the
it last.
chemicals to make it last, use formaldehyde to make, bodies last. I mean, these are dangerous chemicals. I read somewhere once in a book, I can't remember, I think it might have been Omnivore's Dilemma, but he was talking about how they would go out and spray. Now I'm kind of talking about pesticides and all that, but they would go out and spray the potatoes, and it was so deadly, the spray, that you could not be outside during the course of the spraying, because if you were, you would die. And then it kind of makes you go, we're spraying food with stuff that I could die, And so that goes to the chemicals, and we have become so immune or desensitized as far as chemicals are concerned that it's just common. It's just, okay, no big deal. And I really feel like it is a big deal because we have a lot of technology now. We have a lot of progression in our country, but we have a lot of sickness, we have a lot of disease that we didn't have before. And again, I'm not an expert, but I really feel like some of it can be traced back to the foods that we eat. Okay. When we talk about processed foods, can they give us the nutrients that we need? And I'm kind of jumping ahead because I maybe did give you what nutrients are, but can they give us the nutrients that we need, you think? You don't think so? You don't think so? You don't think that ground up meat that you were talking about is going to give you what you need to, make it through the day, to run, play, jump, do all the things that you want to do? You don't think it's going to do that? I don't know. I don't think so either. When you eat processed foods, this is kind of going back to, how your mom would say, don't eat that, you're going to ruin your appetite for dinner, that kind of thing. Well, when you eat processed foods, you're eating, and again, I'm using terms that we sometimes use and don't think about what they mean, but you're eating empty calories, okay? So when you eat empty calories, you fill up on bad food, and then therefore you don't want good food. So why is that dangerous? Why is that a big deal? Why do we care?
The good foods that we need, they carry vitamins that we need.
Right. So if you fill up on bad food that don't have the vitamins that we need, empty calories is what we call empty calories, then when it's time to eat the good food, do we want it? How many of you have ever wanted an apple after eating a donut? Raise your hand. Have you? I know I have. If I'm eating cookies and donuts, I tend to not want it. I mean, I might eat it, but I tend to not want it. However, if you are hungry and I'm presenting you with an apple or some spinach or whatever, if you're really hungry, you're going to eat it and you're going to want it. But if I give you something bad to eat, you're going to want that, and you're really not going to want to touch the healthy stuff. That's just kind of how our bodies work. We want high fat, we want high energy, because that's just how our bodies are made to survive. And so when we give ourselves those types of foods, we don't want the other things. And so that can be dangerous because we're not getting the vitamins and the nutrients that we need. So let's talk about the vitamins and nutrients that we need. What or why are they important? Why are the vitamins and nutrients? Because again, this is stuff we hear all the time, but we may not think about why is this important? Because, we hear it and it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other. Why are vitamins and nutrients important for us? It can make your bones strong. So what are you talking about? What nutrient are you talking about making your bones strong? Calcium, okay? Any other things about vitamins and nutrients? Why would you want your bones strong? Right. I mean, I don't want to go around just every time I walk, my bone break. That's important, right? We need our bones to work the way that they should. When you have a car, and I don't know if any of you ever done this, but you have a car, you ever put in the wrong type of gas? Has anybody ever did that? Or ever heard of anyone doing that? Like they have some type of sports car and they put in regular when it should put in Supreme, vice versa. I've never done it, but I've heard of people doing that, and it can really seriously damage a car's engine. Am I right? You have to give the machine what it needs. Our bodies are machines. You have to give it what it needs. If you do not, it will break down. Again, using the same analogy with the car, I've heard of cars where they put the wrong gas in it, and they're like, going down the road and even having to go to the mechanic to get repair just from putting in the wrong gas. Okay? And so that's the same thing that can happen to us. When we continuously give ourselves the wrong things, chemicals and all that, or when we continuously omit the good things, same thing's going to happen. Our body, our machine, is not going to work right. And sometimes we don't really attribute the machine, our body, not working right to the nutrients. We don't put it together. We just go, oh, I didn't get enough sleep. Oh, I'm not feeling good today. We don't attribute that headache to I didn't get what I needed. We don't attribute that ache in my back to, oh, I didn't give my body what it needed. We don't attribute just whatever host of problems you can have, even learning, like with our kids. We don't attribute the fact that, somehow they're just not getting what they need to get. One of my daughters, she had serious migraines all the time. She'd wake up in the morning, she had a headache. And when we changed our diet, the problems pretty much went away. She still has triggers for migraines. So when she gets in the car, that's a trigger. Sunlight is a trigger. But the other times when we could not explain, that went away. And it really went away, I really believe, because of prayer and diet. And that's the only thing that changed. And so it's important that you give your body what it needs, because if you don't, it will not work for you. And you want your body to work for you. And